I'll share when I got that bundle and it was literally $8. Like I was like, this is a no-brainer, and I'm gonna raffle off stuff for people who join me this month because I have three core balls. I don't know why. I have three. I don't need three. I'm
What
gonna
was
keep
the
my
link that you used? I saw in your little live, you said you were going to share the link.
oh no, that's the whole point. You have to ask me
Oh,
for it.
ah,
No, but the for all of
I'm
us,
asking you.
I'm asking you right now. The code the code is free gear. So what all you have to do is put that in your cart. It's like body bundle, what is it? Body accessory bundle or something. You go to checkout, you click promo and you write free gear and it literally drops it down like $80. It's insane. So like
Okay.
anybody that's active, like I didn't understand it at first and I tried to do a cart like additionally with it, but Becky said like I think they have to be actively first a member and then they can just go back in and do it. And they're just paying the shipping. That's basically it. But it's like anybody that's a member can do that. Like I don't know why not everybody's doing it. I'm confused why this is such a good deal. Like they must just have a lot of crap to move. I don't know.
That's a good idea to do a raffle and like give out prizes. Because I was like, I already have all the equipment. I don't really need more, but that's a good idea.
Connor's like, we always fight over those bands, like if we're both doing the same program. So I'm like, well, we'll keep the bands, but we can get rid of the ball. I'm gonna keep the ankle weights, which I don't know if I'll use them, but maybe I won't. And then it came with like the 30-day breakaway fanny pack, which I already have because I did the program. So like that's like cute little items you can give people. Also, like if you don't want any of it, this is a great little incentive just to give away to somebody. So
I sometimes put on ankle weights if I'm doing like a cardio day because I
that's
can't
insane.
jump as high now or like as fast. So I like weight my ankles down. It works. Your heart rate gets up high.
So that was like the one thing I just wanted to share was like if you guys haven't done it, just do it because like it's $8 and you get all that free stuff. So like if you haven't ever done like Control Freak and you didn't want to buy the extra, like I know you don't have the tracker, but like 4 weeks for everybody, they use the ball. They're gonna start using this equipment, I think, in more programs. So like you'll need it eventually, and this is the cheapest option to do it. So Abby, do you have any other announcements?
I was looking at like that October news, like get the scoop, and everything seems pretty normal. Like we've talked about the Shakeology and Body monthly package. If you guys have any questions about that, just ask. And just the normal $20 off promo code for everyone that's getting started with Total Solution Pack. We're having the new Body Block. Um, I didn't see anything. Oh, Snickerdoodle
The
Shake
17th.
launch is the 17th. So if you guys have tried vanilla chai, that's what you should expect. Um, so if you're a fan, you can market it, share it with people, whatever. But there's nothing that much new, like in regards to it being a new month. But there are 90 days left in the year, which is insane to me. I keep thinking it's still September. I did it like 3 times today. Um, but it's October. And I just remember years ago, like when Rachel Hollis was big about like the last 90 days of the year, she just, I don't know, I don't even listen to her anymore, but she was like, it's almost like that push. I listened to a podcast. It's like, find this season as we go through the holidays. And is it going to be your push season or is it going to be your more like family season? And we're going to talk about ways to push and ways for you to reach your business goals. But it's also okay if you have to do what aligns to you. Like holidays should be about your family, but if you are pushing for big goals, like we can help you get there. So I think it's really cool how you can use this last 90 days for what fits into your goals, your lifestyle, and all of that. That was a Holly podcast I listened to today, and that's like a blessing. It's like the coolest thing because we get to choose what this business is for us. We get to choose when we work, how it works into our family, and all that good stuff. So I want to share that. We do have 2 new people that have jumped on. Molly, I see you, and you're showing on your camera. Would you like to say hi and introduce yourself and tell us maybe a little about you and where you're from?
Sure. My name's Molly. I'm in Ohio. I don't know, I guess where everyone is, but I'm in like the Columbus central area. So, but yeah, I just joined as a partner. I've been doing Beachbody since the beginning of the year. I was like 3 months postpartum when I started. So, but I'm a lifelong long distance runner trying something completely new. So, but I've really enjoyed it. So I'm excited to explore further, see what else I can do.
We're excited to have you here. So, Corrine, are you near that part of Ohio? I know you're in Ohio.
I'm in Cincinnati.
Okay.
So not too
Yeah,
far.
I'm in Delaware, just north of Columbus.
So we have some Ohio. We have some Florida, some Tennessee, some California, some everywhere. So a little bit of everything. So I'm excited for you. I know you do an awesome job sharing just like your life and your baby and your workout. So I think you're gonna rock it, and I'm glad you could make the call.
Thank you.
I hope like today we pretty much just go over and share a topic, and I hope you can take something away from it, but feel free to ask any questions you have, or type in the chat or whatever feels right.
Okay.
Welcome.
This is Milo.
Hello. We also have Haley. I don't know if you're able to come off mute or not. I know you mentioned bedtime, so we might say, oh,
Hey, let me see if I can turn this video on. I'm actually washing dishes, so.
I couldn't remember what you said. I was like, bedtime.
Oh, it won't let me turn the camera on. I gotta change my settings, so I'll have to do that next time. Let me see. Don't want to hold you guys up.
No, you're fine. We can hear you clearly, so that works perfect.
Okay, so I am Haley. I just signed up as a partner. Oh, there it went. What I think it was last weekend I decided to finally sign up, but I've been a long time user of all things Beachbody for years. I started while I was in high school when I was doing it. But now I've just kind of changed my entire life from going to corporate America to being a full-time mom. So kind of want to find a way to get myself healthy while also supporting my family a little bit. So we'll see how this goes. But I'm excited.
I'm excited for you. And she did share a little more detail of that story on our Team Phoenix page, which was awesome. And you guys can all go in and share your stories if you like. I think that's really cool just to get to know each other. So we're excited to have you both. And then, like I said, we're just here to support each other. We're all in this together, and we try to share as much as we can. So ask any questions or whatever you need. We're here for you. Corrine, I think, are we ready to dive in, or did you have something else?
No, I'm good.
Awesome. Go ahead.
Did everybody, I don't know, Abby, if you shared it in your page, did everybody get a chance to like listen to this podcast episode of Melanie Mitro? Okay, so if anybody has anything they want to chime in on, let me know, because I kind of took some of these notes while I was driving. But basically this call was about like how to raise your level of self-awareness. And for myself, I felt like this was like an eye-opener for me. Melanie Mitro has been like one of the top coaches in body for years. And she just speaks so much like into your soul, and she has been in this game for a long time. So like she's seen a lot of changes throughout the years. So she talks about just like kind of like checking yourself. She says you'll have to endure roadblocks, setbacks, and learn new skills in order for you to grow, right? And Sorry. So I like talk text, so some of these are not, they don't make any sense. And she was talking about like what's a skill set like you need to have in order to grow to the next level. And that's going to be like awareness of yourself, awareness of what you're doing, the activities that you're doing, what you need to be doing to, you know, whether it's show up for your workouts, show up as a leader, just show up in life in general. And basically she said you could be the person that's standing in your own way of success. And that's like, it's so true, because I feel like we blame a lot of things like social media, like algorithms, like people aren't liking my stuff, or, you know, I'm not getting like any movement in my content and things like that. But it's like, if you're not producing things that people are interested in, and if you're not changing things up, like you're not going to have any growth, not any movement. If you're just continuing to do the same things day in and day out, because you have to change. Otherwise, you're just going to stay the same. And it's like basically like going through the motions. Like, are you just checking off the boxes to check the boxes off? And I feel like for me, that's what I do. Like, I'm just like, all right, I did my invites. All right, they're done. And it's like, okay, but like, are you following up with those people? Are you like providing value to them? Are you asking personal questions, being genuine, like all the other things that we need to be doing to invest in other people's health, right? Again, are you actually doing the things that are moving you in the right direction? So is your social media actually effective at attracting new leads? Are you putting out new feelers? Are you getting people to join you? Are you documenting your day? Or are you just the problem? Like you're not doing those things. So I feel like I do a good job of showing like my kids work, which I can't really show a lot of work because of HIPAA. I'm a medical assistant / athletic trainer, so I can't really be showing things, but I try to show like funny things about things in the office. And I share a ton of things about like my boot camps and my workouts and how this has changed my life and things like that. But if like we're just like posting a sweaty selfie, like people are gonna be like, okay, you go to the gym. Like everybody's post sweaty selfies. If maybe you're saying like, oh, you should join me. Well, join what? Like, what are you joining? Like, what are we joining? What are you asking us to be part of? So we need to make sure that we're doing like creating a story for people to follow and then like follow through with. We need to be constantly evaluating what we're doing, and is what we're doing providing new leads? Is what we're doing generating revenue? Look at yourself and how do you level it up? If you feel like you're not doing those activities or you're struggling with those activities, you need to team up with one of us or reach out and like Google things. Melanie talked about how she used to like YouTube things, like YouTube trainings, Googling how to like, I don't know. I like go off of like Tiffany, and I've been using Google Bard a lot lately to like create my posts, because you guys talked about that one time and I was like, I need to do that more because I'm trying to come up with active like posts and I'm like, I don't know what to post. So I just type something in Google Bard. And if you never use Google Bard, it's pretty easy and it kind of just creates content for you. So I was like, I'm going to try that out. So I did. And so we have to try to like not reinvent the wheel, but if like we're struggling in those business activity, I don't know what I'm trying to say. If we're struggling in those areas, ask for help. Abby's a great resource. Becky's a great resource. So is Tiffany. I like to think I'm an okay resource because I've been doing this for a while, but I ask them for help all the time. And I've been coaching longer than them. And I just feel like you never can go wrong with asking for help. So if you feel like you like, I don't know, I've talked to Carla about this a lot, and she's like, I just feel like I haven't done anything to like make any money in this, but her content she puts out is amazing and I love following it and it's inspiring to me. So I know she's inspiring other moms or other women. But if it's like, we're not doing certain things, we're just going to stay stuck. We're not going to be moving forward. You're just going to keep doing the same thing and doing the same thing and doing the same thing. And you're not going to be seeing, you know, revenue coming in or new clients, or even having those clients we already have keep investing in you, keep ordering from you, right? It's the same thing. she talked about, like, I know, like, you get somebody to join with like a total solution pack, right? And then like they stop ordering Shakeology or they stop with the performance line. So that doesn't really help your business anymore because they've already joined. But if they're believing in you, they believe in the products and they know the value, they're going to continue to do that every single month. The other thing she talks about was like marketing raw and real. So like people don't need to just see all the good, right? Because that's not real life. Things are hard. Things are tough. Right now, like inflation sucks. The cost of living is super stressful. Like checked my bank account this morning and I texted Connor because I was freaking out because our mortgage came out and daycare came out and it literally like drained our bank account. And I was like, oh my God. And I'm thinking like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And I was like, I can do something. I can do something about it. I'm gonna invite 10 times today, or I'm gonna follow up 10 times because like this is my business. So like I can make a change. I can bring in more income if I need to. So I try not to get stressed out about it, but we have to share things that are stressing us out, or I don't know. I just feel like if you are gonna follow somebody that's like always, I'm not saying you can't be like smiley all the time, but like you also need to share if things are tough because people can't relate to you. You can't touch on people's pain points if you're 100% like happy all the time or like upbeat all the time. Because realistically, I don't know who's like that in life anywhere. But and then just thinking about like who your ideal client is. Who are you marketing to? Think about pain points you have in your own life and maybe share those because you never know who like those might hit home with. She says when you're marketing, it takes about 7 to 14 days to know when it's working. So I know she like mentioned she started this like booty boot camp for moms. It flatlined. Nobody
6-pack abs.
6-pack abs or something, which I mean, I feel like back in the day I would have been like, yes, sign me up for that. But now I'm like, yeah, I'm not here for that. I'm just here to like get 20 minutes in and I'm good to go. And she said it was a total flop. And so she like remarketed it to, what was the new name, Abby? Like Pooch, something Pooch.
Something about that related more to moms
Like
versus
moms.
like
Yeah.
getting 6-pack abs for spring break or something.
What was it, Carla?
Beat the bulge, because I was like,
Yes.
that's fantastic.
And she said, don't give up on that on day 1 or day 2. If it's not working right away. And I feel like maybe we are like that because we just want that instant gratification of like, yes, somebody joined this. And maybe like, and I always tell my girls, like, start a boot camp. If you have one person, you have one person. You don't need 10. You have one, and that one person is investing in you. Now, if you don't have anybody, then you need to like maybe change your verbiage or find your different people. Are you giving it enough time for it to develop? Making the real time and then making the adjustments. But we have to take the full responsibility for like if things aren't working, right? We can't blame anybody else. Like I said, you can't blame social media. You can't blame like, I don't know, like, oh, well, they probably have more people because they're in this shape or things like that. Like we have to look in the mirror and see
He's still
like
snoozing hard.
Yes, Jesse?
Sorry, I accidentally just hit unmute. We're having dinner.
You're fine. I have a lot of notes. If anyone else wants to chime in, I can keep going. She also was saying how just basically how we show up for our customers and speak to their personalities. So again, like I speak to postpartum moms, or I speak to moms of 2 kids. I don't have 4 kids. I can't speak to that. I don't know what that life's like. I can't even do life with 2. So I'm speaking to like that population. I used to like my niche used to be like post-college grads. I have no idea why. I haven't been in college for like 12 years. Like, why am I like reaching out to you? Like, you're not going to join some old lady who hasn't been in college for 12, not old guys, but like, you know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't I focus on like newlyweds or new moms, postpartum, even having like your first like pregnancy, things like that. So I know Abby probably has like kind of has like almost like a new market because you're pregnant with your second and you have a baby now. So like that's tough. And I know a lot of people would just assume like you shouldn't be doing things. And being pregnant with a toddler is like you're a whole new world, whole new tired, but you're doing great. But it is hard. But you want to identify your blind spots and reflect on what can be standing in your way, basically. I feel like this is a lot of repetitiveness. And then at the end, she just like suggests reading 2 different books by John C. Maxwell for leadership 15, 15 invaluable laws of growth, and then the 21 I can't say that word. Infutable laws of growth. I don't necessarily read leadership books, but I think the one thing I'm missing in my business right now is personal development. I listen to a lot of podcasts, but I just don't think that they're doing what I need to do because I'm listening to them when I drive. And I feel like half the time I'm like, oh wait, what did they just say? Because I'm driving, like I'm distracted. I'm not just sitting there listening. So this morning my reflection was you need to finish the book you started before my daughter was born 10 months ago. And it's a good one, and just like get back into just reading, which is hard, or doing Audible. But I noticed that was one thing I reflected on from this was that I have gotten away from personal development. And I feel like the one thing that top partners talk about is personal development, because you can literally find something that fits in any part of your life. If you're struggling with, I know like right now, personally, I'm struggling with working. I don't want to work. I want to just do this full time, but it's like, that would be a huge leap for me. And it's not as sustainable as like, I know it would be a lot of work and it would be worth it, but that would be like, you have to make sure you are on this every single week. Otherwise, like I have to get another job. So, and that's something I'm struggling with. So I need to start reading some personal development because that's not really what we need right now in my life is to quit my job. But, yeah, basically she just talks about looking in the mirror and figuring out what you're doing. And if what you're doing isn't not working, then you need to change it. And I felt like I feel like we don't talk about self-awareness a lot in this business. So I thought it was a good listen.
That was a really good summary. I took notes because I can't remember anything. So I got them right here on my phone. I think you touched on like a ton of good points, and it's really the fact of like, if you want to see growth in your business or sign your first customer or hit Success Club and help 3 people for the month, it is looking back at yourself, because so many times we're like, oh, well, the algorithm, or, oh, well, like she's not as busy as me, or I don't have enough time, or she's just better at talking to people. Like we really limit ourselves and doubt ourselves, when really if Melanie says like, just make a commitment and then stick to it and run with it. Market for something, market for your accountability group, let people know what you're doing. And then if it kind of flunks or it kind of like dips, she says she just makes little shifts. So if people aren't really interacting, brainstorm. How else could I share this with people? Who's in my market? What are they struggling with right now? So for example, maybe I'm sharing like my morning workouts and how it's been a habit and whatever. And people are like, well, I still don't have time for it. I'm going to address the fact that a lot of people I talk to or are watching me think they don't have time. And that's how I'm going to shift and maybe try to connect with them more. Maybe people say they don't have the money. You can then talk about the business opportunity and how this business can bless you with paying for your products or earning an extra income for your groceries or whatever. So it's really that I'm committed. I'm going to share whatever I'm promoting and stick to it to build that trust, but shift your message if you don't feel like it's being heard for your market. So I know some of you might struggle with like, well, who are my people? And it can be your past you, like who, like, for example, okay, maybe that's a bad example, but you right now are going to be best at sharing your season of life, but your past you to who you are now, you have grown and developed into this person. So a lot of our job is storytelling. So right now, your market could be postpartum mom that's pregnant with their second and a 1-year-old run around crazy. So that's my market. But I also go back and share, like, this is where I started my first postpartum journey. This is where I started even before I was pregnant. And I just give bits and pieces of my life. And I think you'll be amazed of like who can relate to certain parts of your story. And it's just going to click with them one time. They need to see it like, I think, what is it, like 8 to 10 times they need to see something before they trust and commit. So just keep showing up, keep sharing those little bits. And if you keep doing the same thing and seeing no results, that's insanity. That's literally just like thinking something's going to change, but it's not. You have to change that thing. So she says it in this podcast in a very nice way, but it really is just, this market's going to change. You're going to change. Everything in this business can change. And that's okay. Change is good because that makes you a real human going through life and having these tools from this business that really like help your life in some way, benefit you and your family. And one other thing she said is, if you're not a leader yet, or you don't think you're a leader yet, you still have to do leader things to get there. So it's sort of like Kareem mentioned, like she needs to pour into personal development in these books because she knows that will, well, she didn't say this, but I'm guessing you think it's going to help your mindset and help you show up better for your business. So we always, like, I feel like we get scared and we're like, well, I'm not there yet, or I'm not this rank, or I haven't helped this many people, I'm brand new, whatever it is. I always, and Tiffany might be better at talking about this, or someone, but having a vision and like showing up already as the person who reached their big goals. And it is hard, like, I'm not gonna lie. It's hard to be like, it's 5 a.m. I'm sitting here at this kitchen table and I already hit my goals as a 5-star diamond and this, and we live at this house and this, and my husband is working his dream job and blah, 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 blah. It's hard. But if you get into the habit of taking baby steps and saying, you know what, that's where I'm gonna be. So when I share on my story or talk on my story, I'm gonna have that confidence like I already am there, or that I can help people get there. And to me, I think it's pretty cool because someone's done it before. You're not lying. It's so possible. It's just you're on your journey of getting there. So I am getting way better at doing like the vision work of like each morning. I'm like, okay, why am I showing up today? What do I need to do to get there? And it really just sets your mindset right. So maybe that is a personal development book for you, or a podcast, or a devotional, or your gratitude, or something that gets you in the right mindset. And then if you want, you could actually write down like your big goals. Like if you have this vision, write down what it feels like, what you like, all the senses, what you see, what you smell, what you hear. And you can read it every single morning. Like that is something that helps. And Becky said, yes, pulling from other stories is so powerful. And I don't know where I'm really going. I feel like I just got on a big tangent, but even though you're not where you want to be yet, doesn't mean you cannot show up with the confidence as if you're already there, or if you're getting there. And yeah, it's going to be messy and it's going to be ugly and crap's going to happen and you can share all that, but it's still like just building that confidence up a little bit every single day. And people are going to fall in love with you. They can go get body anywhere, but they can't get you anywhere. So this whole podcast was really about marketing, but like, I think that's so personal to each and every one of you. And you just have to make those shifts that feel right to you, because you have to work this business from your heart. You can't like copy or like be just like someone else. You have to be you. And I can guarantee you're going to find your people that way and people that want to follow you. And go ahead, Tiffany. I was going to say, I didn't tell them to watch the podcast, so I'm sorry about that. But I feel like you guys might have talking points about what we've sort of discussed already.
No, yeah, I was just gonna say, in regards to the whole like keeping your energy high and stuff while you're talking about the future, like future you, where you want to be. I feel like, so there's like one time in my business specifically that I remember, and it was like I was super focused on just like I wanted to recruit partners, and like that was where my focus turned to. And there was a lot of visualization and a lot of like goal setting and all of this, but I seriously like remember the feeling of when I would hop on my story and talk about like, I'm mentoring these people, I'm leading you to whatever, like this top team and all of this. And it's like, wasn't my reality at that time, but it was so cool because just the shift of my energy and like me believing that it was possible, then I like signed 2 partners up in a week, and it was the coolest thing ever. And I was like, whoa, it worked, you know? And so that's just one thing. Like it seriously is just like the simple things. It's hard because I mean, I've been on both sides where I'm like, I feel like a fraud if I'm talking about like growing some top team or something, but then you're not a fraud. Like you're not lying. It's just where you see yourself going. So having that big vision is so crucial, and it brings so much energy when you talk. So whether on your story or in your post or whatever. So just like in conversation with people. So yeah, definitely recommend having those goals, setting that vision, and then just like talking and being you. So go for it.
That's a really good point. Like your energy says everything. And if you do get out of your comfort zone, if you don't normally talk on your stories, or when you do talk on your stories, the energy and whatever that looks like for you, like some people get excited, it's just like however you show your energy, it's like let them feel that. And it's so cool because I mean, I don't know if I actually I'm like only talk on my stories when I have energy, like a positive energy. And a really good time to do it is after your workout. Like if you guys are not sure, just get on after your workout when your endorphins are flowing and just be like, all right, I showed up for myself. Here's how I feel. Here's how I used to feel. And just like, let it flow. And I know Tiffany does a really good job just with your energy in general. And so after you did that and you signed the 2 partners, like now are you like, oh, I need to do that again now that you like brought it up?
It definitely just made me think like, because even just like in bringing it up and actually vocalizing it to you guys, it was like, oh, I feel like on fire. So I think just having a good solid goal and like vision for myself once again, and yeah, like knowing like, yeah, it's so possible to repeat it. It's just having that vision and bringing that energy to the table, and then everything will fall into place like at the right time. So yeah, that is something that I want to like realign, I guess, my vision and everything. And after all the craziness last month, I'm just like, trying to get it all together again and be like, okay, what is my normal, how do I want to like niche down in a new way, I guess, with everything that's happened. So anyway, yes, but overall, realign my vision.
And that's like, it is going to keep realigning, but that's what keeps us showing up in this business. So why you're showing up might change each month, might change each year, like whatever it is, but that's energy isn't fake. It comes because you're pushing for something bigger. Maybe it's a health reason that this has changed your life. Maybe it's shifted your mindset. Maybe it's financially you want this to change the dynamic in your family, like whatever it is. So yeah, if you don't know why you're showing up, at least write that down and remind yourself of that every single day. Like, how has this changed your life and why are you sharing it with others? And you're allowed to repeat yourself as many times as you want on social media because people don't see it all the time. So don't feel like once you say it, you can't say it again. Like, I pretty much repeat myself in a different way every single day, and that's fine. Awesome. I can see 2 of Carla, and it makes it's like, do you guys see 2 of her? I don't know. It's, oh, is the one frozen? Oh, one's moving and one's frozen. Okay. I was like, you're in the same position still. So do you guys have like any comments or things you want to chat about in regards to all this? Like, do you have questions? Anything come to mind?
So I kind of wanted to just I watched last week's team call today while I was at work because I had a minute, and I just wanted to kind of like reflect on that for a second because when Tiffany was talking about how Brad had said, like, listen, things are gonna happen in life, like let them happen, don't fight it, and just let life happen as it is gonna happen. And it's funny because as I'm sitting there listening to it, I'm like, this is totally like what like my family's dealing with right now because of like my son and everything, because he had like an endoscopy, and we were told by like the people that schedule the procedures at the hospital, like, oh, like anticipate to be there like 5-6 hours, all this stuff. So we literally packed like we were going to be going hiking for like 12 hours. We packed everything and we were bounced around the hospital like crazy. So I got absolutely nothing done, and I'm going, and it kind of like put me like in like a negative mindset because I'm like, oh great, like I'm gonna get so far behind, blah blah blah. And then going from having the procedure to a week later having to find out the results, and like my head was like in the place of it being like, we're gonna have to battle some kind of massive like medical condition, like all this other stuff. And I'm going, okay, like, yeah, that could happen, but at the same time, like there's a reason that I'm doing what I'm doing. And I could either go like crawl in bed and not get out for a month, like I would have done in my past, or like still getting up, showing up every day and doing what I'm doing. And I've had a couple of moms reach out to me, they're like, how do you have the energy to like get up? And I'm like, well, first of all, I was like 4:30 in the morning is like the only time I have to get any kind of like anything done. Like, so between 4:30 and 6 a.m. is when all of me time happens and like getting business work done. I'm like, because otherwise, when I get home from work, it's literally just getting everybody to extracurriculars and prepping for the next day. And then it's bedtime. So I'm like, and they're like, I just can't do it. I'm like, it's not going to happen in one night. I was like, but my body's so trained now. I'm like, I will literally just lay in bed with my eyes open for like a half an hour because I just automatically wake up now. And I'm like, and they're like, that's just crazy. I was like, trust me. I'm like, I used to tell my coach the same thing when she brought up to me about training your body to get up a little bit earlier every day. I'm like, and 2.5 years later, here I am waking up at 4:30 in the morning. And it's nice to have that shift because it's like, I used to let stuff stress me out so bad that I couldn't get out of bed to function, to even think, like I would call out of bed 5 minutes before I had to leave. And I'm like, no, I'm going to get up and do this because I know it's going to help me. And they're like, I never thought about it like that. I'm like, yeah. So it was nice to go from having anxiety filled mindset for a few days to starting October with like headstrong motivation and being like, okay, even if all I do is show up for my workout and post it, I still showed up in some way, shape, or form, and that's all that matters. So yeah, so I'd share that.
That's awesome. And it is kind of like you can take those hard things and let them kill you, or you can use them as momentum to be like, I need to do this for myself, for my mindset, for my anxiety, whatever it is.
Yeah, because like right now we have between, let's see here, for my son, it's gastroenterology, pulmonology, allergist, and now I just found out yesterday from the school, and then I talked to the pediatrician, and now he has to see a pediatric ophthalmologist because he failed his distance vision, some kind of acuity thing in his right eye. So, of course, the pediatrician himself calls me and asks me what exactly they marked on the form. He's like, oh, no, that's further than what we can do. You need to see pediatric ophthalmologist. I was like, we're just going to check this off the list now, too. And so I'm on the way home from work, like starting to fill with anxiety. And I'm like, no, I'm like, why am I doing that? I'm like, it's better to just get it done and taken care of and over with than to dwell on the fact that, oh my gosh, something could be totally wrong. I'm like, I would rather get it done. I'm like, it could be something, it could be nothing, but either way, we need to have answers. So yeah, so we're going to be hitting the next specialist here very soon. So yeah, but he's a champion. We're taking it one step at a time.
Well, hopefully everything goes well, but and you do a really good job at sharing your real life and how you're showing up. So it's really kind of getting out of your comfort zone and being real, and whatever that looks like for you in this season is awesome because people will be able to relate. And they might be like, how in the heck are you doing this? But then you share it with them. And I think that's the coolest part of what we do, because if you have 20 minutes, you can show up for yourself a little bit. Awesome. Does anyone have any other thoughts that came up or things that they'd want to share?
I always have thoughts and things to share, but but I listen to, and sorry, I'm losing my voice, so I've also been just trying to work on not talking as well. But I listened to the podcast, and then I also listened to another one, and Holly Hillier that Abby you talked about as well. And for me, it's really in the stage of like figuring out, as I just left my agency job and I'm doing my private practice in this body business full time. Today is day 2 of doing that. So realigning a structure of what that looks like. And for me, like what Holly said of like what quarter 4 looks like for me and assessing that. So really for me, I'm just restructuring it all. But for September, I felt like I took a big step back in my business because I was just so burnt out and overwhelmed. But I still made a point of showing up and sharing and the little things that I could. And the amount of people that just sent me little tiny messages of keep doing it, you're doing great. And they're people who I've connected to in like the body network before, or potential customers. And so I didn't even think like, and I honestly didn't even have time to really pay attention to like any of the analytics or how my posts were doing. And I was like fly in, fly out, just posting, like didn't even have time to look at it. But the amount of people showing up and actually paying attention and diving into my story, and the amount of potential like customers that even sent me like a happy last day or congratulations on your first day. So it's so important, and we always talk about that, but just of sharing the real and your struggles, and that people identify with that and are following along. And so as much as I feel like I've kind of stepped back and now I'm like reanalyzing what my business looks like, all of that is still progress and momentum. So I think there's just a lot of work on what's next, and it's pretty exciting in the upcoming weeks. I have a running note in my phone of all these different like blogs and posts and marketing schedules. So very excited to see what unfolds from that. But as Tiffany gave me awesome advice from Brad today as well. Tiffany, what was the quote you said? That greatness and
Convenience and greatness not coexist.
yeah, convenience and greatness can't coexist. And I feel like, yeah, I've set myself up of like October is going to be great. And then October is like, haha, joke's on you. So just taking it one step at a time. But yeah, so all the podcasts definitely helped. And I think actually Holly Hillier's of just reassessing what this end of the quarter looks like really helped me realign with that as well. I think for me, Melanie Mitchell was kind of like, and she talked about that, how she's like very hard and direct and that sometimes that like pushes people away. And today I was in a space of like, wow, well, that kind of hurt. So it was some hard truths that I guess I needed to hear. But yeah, so I'm excited to dive back in full force in the upcoming weeks and months.
I'm so excited for you. So Becky worked like every day for the whole month of September in her like private practice, her real, what do you call it? Real job, like real.
Yeah, my agency job.
Agency.
Yeah, social work supervisor for a clinical healthcare agency. So
Yeah, so she worked for the agency and was doing coaching, and now she's finally built up her private practice, so she doesn't have to do the agency job anymore. So it's super exciting, and now she's going to have time to pour into this business more. And to her point, like if you have a bad day or you're whatever, just show up the best you can, even if it's like, hey, I did my workout or whatever, because you're going to build that trust. They're going to know you didn't fall off the face of the earth, or you didn't completely shift your mind about like how important these things are in your life. And then when you come back stronger, they're going to be there watching still. And it's pretty cool. Awesome. Well, we have taken up a good bit of time. I hope you guys got something out of this. We met some new friends, and I really just challenge you guys to think how you can market your business by speaking to your people this week. What do they struggle with? How can you help them solve that problem? And I think you'll be successful with it, honestly. Awesome. Have a wonderful night, and I'm sure we'll talk soon. Bye.